Welcome to another episode of On the Capo Stand podcast. I am your host, David, and alongside, as in every week, my good friend John. How you doing, John?
It's another Monday, David.
Absolutely, big Monday for the rest of us. And our good friend Ahmed. How you doing, my friend?
Super. I'm doing amazing.
No kidding. We have
Yes,
to,
man.
they say we have to be like the clown, uh, smiling to the world while crying inside. Obviously, we're going to talk about a forgettable weekend. A forgettable weekend. First of all, I would like to thank our good friend JJ from Orlando Lions Den podcast who filled in for me as I was celebrating the Passover Seder with my family. To those that celebrate, hope you had a meaningful time as it comes to an end. And hopefully you guys didn't miss me. I watched the show and it was superb. And who would have thought that this weekend was going to be the way it is? John, can you take us to the first topic of the evening?
Sorry, guys. My internet just
Yeah, don't
flashed
don't worry
up.
about it, my brother.
I don't know what you said
Oh,
after
if
taking
you can
JJ.
take us to the first topic of the evening, please.
Okay, so yeah, news broke today. Luana from Orlando Pride has been diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, which, for those that don't know, is a form of cancer that attacks the lymph nodes. Obviously, our thoughts, prayers, vibes, whatever positivity we send our way from the show to her. You never want to see anybody come down with cancer. I know we don't curse on this, but I'll say it as family friendly as I can. F cancer.
Hmm.
It's not a fun time. We know that she'll pull through it. She's strong. So sure she has the support around her that's needed with the team and her family and everybody. We hope that she pulls through it quickly and comes out on the other side stronger than ever.
Absolutely. She's one of us. Although we are a primarily podcast dedicated to OCB and Orlando City, Orlando Pride is part of the umbrella of Orlando City. We wish her well. As a person of faith, I believe in an all powerful, merciful God. And, my thoughts and prayers are with her, her family, the club in general. It's not the first time we had a player fighting cancer. Mason obviously defeated that horrible disease, and I pray that the same is here, and that when she gets back, that she gets back better than ever. So, Ahmed, if you have anything to add, my friend.
No, man. No, wish her all the best. And yeah, hopefully everything will turn out well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as world football comes to an end, it's gonna be interesting as the windows are gonna be opening soon, and also, we may have some overseas teams coming for players of ours. So be ready for that. Talking about that, this past weekend we have a tournament up in Jacksonville, and Ahmed missed the game against Toronto because he was with his son up there. I mean, let's talk about a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So up north there was the one of the leagues in the area for
Hmm.
our youth is the Florida Academy League, and that's where a lot of the local competitive teams play. So what I have up on the screen here, the Orlando City Academy, their U12 team, they actually won the championship. So it's basically that's their way
Awesome.
of wrapping up the season. So it was like their
Congrats.
playoffs this past weekend. Yeah. So a huge shout out to them. And then that they also had finalists. This is actually my son's teammates. They were finalists. That was also one of the teams. So a big shout out to them. It was it's great to be there and see all this talent. We saw OCB, we saw these teams, and it's just to see so much football being played and so much talent um, gives you a good feeling about the way things are headed in our sport.
Absolutely, absolutely. And with that said, we're gonna treat this the best way we know how. Um, and we are not doing this in a morbid way as a public figure, and this being public record. It's important that you, as an Orlando City supporter, know that Mason Stoddard and his wife were arrested. What it appears Saturday night. Uh, for and my notes run away from me, but disorderly conduct or something like that. They posted bail Sunday morning at 9 a.m. And according to the rules by MLS, he's not gonna be playing this weekend. He's not. He's not. His eligibility has been taken away pending investigation and also pending the completion of this program they have. It's like a rehabilitation program or whatnot that the players have to go through. It's affecting our gameplay, so that's the reason why we want to talk about it on our social media. We let people know. The information came to us from a listener, a viewer of the show that has a connection uh, and just provided that information, and that's the purpose that we did it. If we're gonna talk about other players, he's no exception. Disappointing. Mason has been uh, continues to be the oldest or the players with the longest longevity in our club. He was in the academy. He was one of our first signees, homegrowns. Has been in the club through every coach. I mean, he's literally the last of the Mohicans, and we wish him well. And the truth will come out, and hopefully he will be exonerated of any wrongdoing. Right now, there's a lot of speculation. We don't know what happened. We're just letting you know this happened. This incident happened, and it's going to affect our gameplay. That means that most likely our starting OCB goalkeeper is going to take his place as the backup for the game on Saturday against FCC, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. We don't want to trash him, and we don't want to do anything that will harm his character. But as public record, and it's gonna be on the news, and it's gonna come out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You're hearing it from us, and we're doing it in a respectful manner. So that's all we're gonna say about that. Talking about that, other things, guys. This is coming up weekend. This is not on the topics that I have for the guys. Wednesday, Columbus Crew is going to be facing Rayados de Monterrey on what could be a pass to the finals of CONCACAF uh, Champions Cup. As they're our rival, they're our foe, but as a representative of MLS, we wish them the best. Winning that tournament, it's going to be great for the league, and also it's an example that you don't have to be a big club in a big city with a lot of money to be successful, and we wish them well. And of course, when we play them, we want to beat the crap out of them. But until now, go Crew. If you guys want to add anything to that.
The only thing I'll say is I wish that we heard about this from the MLS at some point. There's
Well,
less
no,
and less
what you will
teams left.
hear is about Messi.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you would hear, it would be nice if they say, hey, because that they were talking about it when Messi was there. How about talking about your league champions that are heading further than I think is this the furthest that an MLS team has gone so far in some time?
Second, Seattle won it a couple years,
Well, yeah,
about
okay.
45 years ago.
There was a win. There was a win early in the 2000s by an MLS club. But I don't count that. It was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far, far away.
Yeah,
So,
so it's
so yeah,
just a
in the
thing.
modern era, yeah, it's. I think it's fantastic. The fact that they defeated Tigres. I think that
Oh,
I
yes,
think that gave us
yes,
a lot of shtick. I think
absolutely.
it's insane. John, you have anything else to add to that?
No, not really.
Now, go Ohio, right? All right, my friends. We have a comment there by our good friend Misael Rosa.
Yeah, I got it. Let's see here. Oh, Misael says, I'm late. What's up, guys? Hey,
Well,
Misael.
Misael, at this point, you probably know what's going on. As start. So if I'll wait 20 seconds, go rewind, catch up, and then come back, or listen to us later. Hey, this past weekend we went to the home opener um, for OCB. What a day! I think we all have fun, minus the score. It was a great opportunity. So let me shut up. John, let's start with you. I believe that was your first OCB game.
Second, but
Second.
the
How
last
did
one
you
I
like
was
it?
at when they were at playing at the stadium. The first year the stadium was open.
Yes, sir. How did you like it?
But yeah, it was my first one at Osceola Heritage Park. Just me and my son. A lot of fun. If you have a kid, younger kid that likes to watch soccer, like just likes to see the ball be kicked around. You're close enough to where you can see that. I remember the first time somebody cleared the ball and he was actually watching because he's only 2 years old. Um, they kicked it and he just went whoa. And yeah, he loved it. He had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It's a lot different than going to see the senior team play because they just it's more relaxing. I
More
basically
Spartan, I will say.
what's that?
More Spartan environment. I mean, there's no pageantry. The
Yeah,
concessions are very simple, just chips and
yeah. The way I explained it to my girlfriend is it's you know no disrespect to Orlando City. Be this as a positive that it was just a bigger higher level high school game, but it was like attending a high school game as
mm-hmm,
far
mm-hmm.
as how it felt. A lot of
Yeah, yeah,
families
yeah.
there. You knew who the families were
Hmm.
and all that stuff. So that was pretty cool.
Absolutely. Amen.
When I saw the announcements, when I saw the emails about the comp tickets, my first thought was our prayers had been answered because we'd been talking about it for weeks. And then I find my wife told me, and I had seen it there. The school district sends out a message to all the
Oh wow.
students, and there was an offer from Orlando City to the people who with their kids in Osceola County schools with a special code to claim the 4 free tickets. And with all the driving that I was doing this weekend, I wasn't even sure if I was going to make it. So I was looking for somebody to give my tickets to. And guess what they told me? They're like, "We already got ours." So I was like, "That's amazing. That's exactly what we've been talking about. Just
Yes.
giving it that exposure, and people will go." So I'm not saying we had anything to do with it. I'm not saying we didn't, but it was just very coincidental. Either way, regardless, I'm very excited that they did that, and I think they had a great turnout considering it was pretty
Absolutely.
much last minute because that was
Right.
like maybe Thursday or
Thursday.
Friday.
Yep.
Um, I think it was great, and I think I hope they do it again. I hope they do it every time there's a home game, because I'm pretty sure they would build a following. Because there's a lot of people in that area specifically that,
Mm-hmm.
for one reason or the other, cannot get to the stadium, cannot get to the first team, but to them, they would come and watch this. So I had a great time. I mean, like I mentioned to you all, I'd been there before for when they used to have the Fire Frogs. It's a great environment. Is it Orlando City in stadium and that whole thing? No, but that's not for everybody also. So this is great, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to
If you like
many
football,
more.
this is the environment for you. If you really
Yeah.
really like football, it's bare bones. You're there to watch a game. It's not like
Hmm.
at the Interco Stadium where there's the pageantry, there's the concessions, the drinking, the tailgating, the party outside. You park, you walk in, old school. You empty your pockets through security, and you go. The concessions were basically pretzels and chips and soda and beer. And since it was Passover, I couldn't have any of that. So that really sucked, especially when a man is pounding them right next to me. It's just joking, bro. And anyhow, it was a lot of fun. I had a blast. And then, of course, mingling with the families of the players. Shout out to Thomas Williams' dad, who came over to say hello to
Yes.
us. I know he probably is either gonna watch this or listen to this later. So I wanna say thank you for the kind words and the support. I have said it again. You should be proud of your son. I'm very high on Williams as a player. comes from an incredible family, and you will know what I'm talking about when you talk to this young man, and then you meet his parents, and you're like, this kid comes from a good environment. And to remind everybody the story, our homegrown is a native of Titusville who for years drove after school with his dad, obviously because he was a kid, to the academy in Sanford, eating dinner in the car, doing his homework, studying, and it has paid off. Has paid off, and by the way, he also has a Tops trade card, so go get it. I have mine signed, because that's how we do. I was on the Williams Thomas Williams train back when I was doing the blogs on my channel, and I stand by that. I mean, I think he's a complete footballer and a kid that is gonna do a lot of great things. I believe he has added a couple of inches. I noticed that he was a little taller. He's bulking up as well, and so with that said, we're gonna move on. I believe John had to reboot his computer. Um, there he is. Um, Ahmed, if you can do us a favor and read some of the comments that have popped up since.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our good friend Vixen. Vixen, what happened, my friend?
Yeah, man. Vixen, how are you, sir? Good to hear from you. Vixen says the MLS is doing Columbus dirty from not giving them the first match of the
We
season.
said that before.
Man, they're doing Columbus dirty in so many ways right now by not giving
Nobody
them
knows
all
they are
the
the
recognition.
champions.
Yeah, by not giving them any of that recognition, my friend.
Hmm.
Uh, and then he goes on to say, you guys brought up bringing back player appearances last season, and we got them. A couple of weeks, you guys have been
I don't
talking
know about
about the
that.
comp tickets for ACB, and you got them. I'm
Well,
not going to
listen.
say
So
it.
I will, I'm gonna. If I would love to take credit, but we don't. And Thomas, I see your comment. We're gonna leave it for when we talked
Yeah.
about the game because we want to go over OCB for a minute. JJ, thank you, my friend. The Let's talk about OCB. 2-1 result. Um, and disappointing. Wilfredo Rivera with the goal to level things out. We're gonna definitely watch that goal here in a minute. The um, the two goals that came in were basically the same. We made incredible saves, spilled the ball in the rebound, second ball, nobody there. Toronto put it in, which was disappointing because the second goal came in at the 89th minute when we were
Mhm.
already setting up for PKs. Because in MLS Next, if the game ends tied, you have to go for PKs, and the winner gets an extra point, sort of like hockey. So yeah, guys, let's talk about the gameplay. Amel, let's start with you, and then John.
I mean, honestly, David, I thought they played really well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was what I would expect. You know, there's going to be deficiencies. There's going to be things that they need to work on. That's why it's OCB.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So I think they did great, and I can't wait to see them as the season progresses and how they gel as a team.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I feel like I'm talking about the first team right now. But I think they did an amazing job. There was little things here and there, like we kept saying, those second balls. They little things here and there, but overall, I was very impressed with the play, the energy, and the just the overall vibe with the team. I felt like they were playing well as a team, which says a lot about some teams. It's just, because at that stage, you're still trying to make a name for yourself. So a lot of times people can be kind of selfish,
Mm-hmm.
especially at that stage, which kind of makes it interesting sometimes. But I didn't see that. I saw a team that honestly, uh, if we were talking about this for the Leagues Cup, I can't see why half these players wouldn't be playing in place of our starters and give them an opportunity to really show what they have because they would do the club proud. I have no doubt in my mind. So
Absolutely. John, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, my internet messed up when David was talking about Thomas's family, but it was funny before his father came over and said hi to us. I leaned over. I mean, it was 5-10 minutes. It was not long at all. Leaned over to Ahmed. Thomas Williams had just made a play on the ball, and I said, "Man, I really wish they'd give him some more senior team minutes because a couple of years ago, when he was, 17, 18 years old,
Correct.
Hmm.
they gave him some of those looks, and I thought he looked, he held his own back there for a 17, 18 year old." Against competition. I know the one match was against the Rowdies, and I think there was one more match they gave him, 45 to maybe 60 minutes in the U.S. Open Cup, and he held his own. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The play, was a fast style of play. Um, a lot of opportunities, especially OCB had a lot of opportunities. I felt like they could have easily had a 2 or 3 goal lead at half if they would have just put them away. But sometimes you get lucky or unlucky and they don't go in, and the other team has basically two balls that pop right out softly to one of their players, and he's able to put it in because it's soccer. And then the player that honestly stood out for me for the match was Alfredo Rivera, who scored the only goal. He was all over the pitch, constantly making plays, constantly pressuring the ball, constantly making progressive passes. And I mean, he was all over the place. Uh, and he got subbed off later on in the game because he was all over the place. So that was a lot of fun seeing him in person. That's somebody David's talked about a lot on the podcast who he wants to see get some first team minutes as well. But it was a lot of fun. Like I said, the little guy enjoyed it immensely. We didn't even leave the parking lot, and he was asleep. So he had a good time.
Yeah, so that no, that was great. It was a good time. The day was gorgeous. I just got the weather, everything was fantastic. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the result, but the boys are still in the hunt. Kudos for the club for coming up with the posters, the game day posters for free. Obviously, a collector's item. And yeah, I mean, guys, it was just fantastic. Hopefully we're gonna get a lot more of these opportunities. To I can't make every single game, but I definitely watch when the games are available. And in my opinion, adding to what John said, aside from Wilfredo Rivera, who a player who I interviewed his father for Tiro de Esquina podcast a few years back. He comes from a football family. His mom and dad are incredible people, and simply to me, aside from him, Yutaro Sukada, which is one of the guys that we drafted this past MLS draft, um, shows a lot of promise. Which, as we go into the first team, we have to ask ourselves who would have been a better sub, Muriel or number 27. His name escapes my mind right now. God, it probably right now, if he's watching this, it's like I can't believe they forgot about me. um, the Lynn,
Jack Lynn.
Jacqueline.
Jake, Jack Lynn. Thank you. So sorry, guys. Listen, I work a full time job today, so it's okay. It's 9:30 in the evening. So yeah, Jack Lynn. I mean, I don't know. We could have had that. With that, if we have some comments there before we transition to Orlando City.
Well, the one we have is about the Brecalo injury, and then
Yeah,
JJ's
yeah. As
JJ's with
far as
us. Hey
yeah,
JJ.
thank you, my brother. We can talk about Breckler right now. As of right now, there's nothing has been said. It's the second time that he gets injured this year. Troublesome, because
Yes.
that means we have as a starter we have Rodrigo Schlegel, who some days we get the extra spicy Rodrigo Schlegel, and some days we get the mild Rodrigo Schlegel, and some days we get the ghost pepper Rodrigo Schlegel, and then we end up with a red card. So, and the backups at CB, in my opinion, right now, Um, it's a huge talent drop. No offense to the guys, but after Rodrigo, we have basically draftees and OCB guys that are not what Slovenian international is. If with all the respect to those players, um, so we don't know what's happening. To be honest with you, it's concerning. We bring this guy. He already missed weeks on the first injury. He wasn't match fit when we started the season, and now we have the situation. Anything to add to that, guys?
I mean, it's not like it was a fluke injury. He got absolutely rocked on the collision. I think ended up being a foul. But he got rocked, so it's not like he just randomly picked up a phantom injury. He got hit pretty hard. I'm hoping it's just a knock. Seeing him walk off the way he did, it looked like it was more precautionary, and this is pure, just me guessing. So I'm hoping and praying that it's just a little knock. He'll be take this week to heal it up, and then be back on Saturday in the starting 11.
Yeah, agreed. I think
Awesome.
I'm hoping it's not a trend. I'm definitely hoping it's not a trend. I didn't actually see it because I was trying to get my laptop set up in the hotel to watch the game. So by the time I got it, I was like, "Why is Schlegel on already?" And then I had to find out that he was subbed on. So
No,
yeah, I hope
absolutely.
I hope it's definitely not a regular reoccurrence. That would be bad for us.
I forgot to do it at the beginning of the game at the beginning of the show. But I would like to remind everybody that we're on Instagram, we're live on X right now, live on Facebook, live on Twitch, on TikTok, on Threads, on Blue Sky, as at on the Capo Stand podcast, on YouTube at Davis Channel 76. We're also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for audio. Which is going to be available after we're done with the show. So please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, supply our, promote our content and consume it as well. I think, we had some funny TikToks, and we also had, the Instagram feed. We tried to always find funny things to share. Actually had a young man approach me on Saturday telling me that he enjoys the show, but he looks forward to the Instagram stories. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad that I'm fulfilling your entertainment. So, with that said, my friends, if you want to be with us, just send us a message and we'll send you the link and you can be on the show and we can talk about anything you want as far as Orlando City. Just send us a message. We prefer if you do it on Facebook or X or Instagram because those are the ones that we monitor. I mean, we got a gazillion apps there, but it's difficult for me to keep up with all of them. So my apologies if I miss you. But if you want to be on the show, just say, hey guys, send me the link, and we're gonna do that. Two people already have reached out to me. I have sent the links, so hopefully they will be with us soon. Um, with that said, guys, Saturday night, 7:30, 655 West Church Street. All the roads took a half of Central Florida to Interco Stadium, and a great turnout, considering that the Solar Bears were gonna be playing their playoff game an hour after kickoff for Orlando City, and that the Magic had played earlier that day. I couldn't believe that there was people that went to Magic, immediately went to Orlando City, and were planning to catch at least the last period
Period.
of Solar Bears. I look, if you have the money, God bless you, and that's commitment. By the time I was done with Orlando City, I was drained. The way we lost, forget about it. Um, I mean, we didn't play the goal for Wilfredo Rivera. If you could do that, I believe the young man deserves
Yep,
the kudos there.
absolutely.
So let's go ahead and do that.
Yep, bringing that up right now.
Thank you, my friend. And then after that,
Here
we're
we
gonna be
go.
talking.
I'm not sure if the audio is going to come through on this, but we'll give it a shot. Here it
Yeah,
is.
at least the visual. We share
Yep.
this on our social media, and you're more than welcome to go see that. OCB obviously has it, and it was a golazo. Look at that, filthy through traffic, low to the corner. Woo! I woke up the dead for sure. It woke up the dead. Look at that. Look at that trotting. Let's go. That's the attitude, my man. That's the attitude. Last time I spoke with Wilfredo was at the stadium. I ran into him. I think it was the home opener, and I told him, I said, Wilfredo, this is your year, baby. And he's like, you better believe it. So, um, guys, let's start with John. Um, Impressions about the game. I gotta tell you, it was a heartbreaker.
Yeah, they started out well, at least this time. Probably the best half of soccer that they've played all year in the first half. Um, still was the deficiencies of players not moving, players, kind of being lazy. But as a whole, I was actually very pleased at halftime. Duncan had one goal, very nice setup, good ball from Janssen to Torres. Torres centered it in, and Duncan does what Duncan does and finished it off. And then right at the end of the half, beautiful ball by Ojeda across the Duncan. Duncan makes a very good first touch and then hits it on the half volley to the side net. Everybody goes crazy. He was slightly offsides. I couldn't get myself to watch the match a second time, so I don't know if he actually was or not. My dad watches it from his home in Cincinnati, and he said he thought he was. There just wasn't a good camera angle. And then the second half starts. And, I played high school soccer, didn't play very high level high school soccer. Studied the game since after high school, especially. Tried to learn as much about the game as I can. Still trying to learn different tactics, why this coach has, these players do that, on and on. I have yet to come across a coach that makes sense to me when you're up 1-0, why you play defensively the entire second half. At home, especially. On the road, okay, I give you a little bit of pass, especially here in the States. You got the big travel and everything, but you're at home. We have said on this podcast almost every week leading up to a home match, you have to win the home matches. So we come in the half, we're on the front foot. Players are, seem to be flying high, almost put in a second goal. And then what does Poppy decide to do? He decides to have them come out and play defensively the entire second half. From what I recall, again, I only watched the game in person, didn't watch it a second time because I couldn't stomach to watch it. We had one, maybe two chances in the second half, and the second chance came in between Toronto's two goals. I mean, this is like, I feel like this year, starting off this year, is literally watching a drama, and not a good drama either. It's like a drama you go to and you know exactly what's going to happen, even though you've already seen it 100 times, but you know exactly how it's going to go. And I know you guys are probably on the same page as me. I know that there's a good portion of people that are watching that are on the same page as me, that's sick and tired of seeing this team go out at home with a lead and give up the lead late in the game. Cool, we come back a lot, but we shouldn't have to come back. This team on paper has we have a good enough team that we shouldn't be doing this bad. We've got a aging striker that we're paying one of our top salaries to, that decides that he's going to use his time here in Orlando as a early retirement vacation and just do a little light jog around the park and not give any effort. I'm talking about Muriel. We've got a designated player who, as far as I know, has always played winger that wants to try out being a center attacking mid. We've got an aging attacking mid that we signed on that everybody and their brother said coming into the year was going to be a good backup to our attacking mid that we were supposed to sign that we never did. And he plays a center attacking mid, but he's too busy hanging out by the sidelines to be considered a center attacking mid right now. And I mean, I could go on and take up about an hour or two of everything that's going wrong with this team, but I'm sick and tired of it. It's time for a change. It's time to blow the whole organization up, and I'm not being dramatic. I firmly believe this. Sell Torres, sell Ojeda, sell Muriel, get rid of Poppy, get rid of certain people in the front office, get rid of the entire coaching staff, get rid of Gillespie, and start all over again right now. So you have an entire season to figure the thing out, entire offseason for them to gel, which people are still saying they need time to gel, by the way. I saw that on X Sunday. And just blow the whole thing up and start over. This season's a waste right now. We got fans coming to the game that have 10.
John froze up.
Like, come on, guys. Like, I don't know what the deal of like what their purpose is at this point, and even showing up when they're throwing these duds out on the field like they have the entire season. You can't give up. You can't play defensively. The whole gist of this is you can't play defensively at home only up a goal. Up 3 with 15 minutes to play at home? Okay, maybe. Not up 1 with 45 minutes plus left to play. And I've said it 100 times on the show as well. A sponge can only soak up so much. And Luke, the guy that we tailgate with and stand next to at the matches a lot, him and I were watching, and about not even 5 minutes before Toronto's first goal, he looks at me, he said, Orlando's due to give up one. And I looked at him and I said, at least one. And it's ridiculous. I'm tired of it. And, the Wolves, I just saw JJ, your comment, which reminded me of another point of mine. The Wolves can go kick rocks and find another thing to make money on, because this is our club and we don't accept just average. We don't accept average here. We want winners. We want a team that wins. We want trophies. We want stars over our crest. We don't want to sit here and give up leads at home, lose matches at home, lose 5-0 against our rivals, not make any signings when everybody says that everybody that knows soccer says this is what they need to sign this year, because guess what? We lost our center attacking mid, so we bring on a 34-year-old and expect him to work that hasn't really done anything since they won the CONCACAF Champions League, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, whenever that was. I'm tired of it, guys.
All right, man, if you have anything to add, so we can let our guests comment.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll keep it brief. John really said most of what we're thinking. I mean, I said it 2 games ago. I'm like, these 5 games that we have, these next 5 games, 2 games ago, are must-win games for us, because it's an uphill battle. If we cannot win these games, or at least put up what I would consider a good effort, where you say that was close, we were looking good, why are we even talking about what position? I don't even. Last I checked, we were in 13th place. We're in 13th place, and at the beginning of the season, we're talking about Supporters Shield and the MLS Cup, and we're in 13th place. Like, if somebody's not sitting there and thinking to themselves, what is wrong with this picture? Somebody doesn't know what they're doing. Like, in reality, I mean, listen, we have DPs that are not doing what DPs do. You have the Pride, and I'm just going to say it out there. They get a DP. Second game, Pride is due their DP. Banda from Zambia, she's doing what DPs do. So, you know what? I lose the argument that there goes the argument for saying they need to gel. What gelling? It's a presence thing. Like JJ said it last time when he was with us, and it's true. You have certain players, certain strikers, certain people. When they come on, they change the energy of the field. You put them on because they're going to give that team the energy, and it just changed the vibe of the pitch and give you what you need. And that's where Duncan really excelled last season. And he does that when he comes on. When are we going to have that other than Duncan? Because guess what? That's a ticking that's just like it's just a matter of time before Duncan's gone, right? So
Absolutely. And we're
I'll
gonna
leave it
hear
at that.
from two.
But yeah, that's all I got, man.
No, for sure. I mean, I'm sorry, my brother. You had a little bit of lag at the end. Well, we have two friends that we haven't heard from in a while. We had the pleasure of seeing William this past weekend. So
Yes.
let's go ahead and let them in. Vixen, you are on the capo stand. Will, you're on the capo stand. How you doing, my friends?
Oh, perfect.
Yo,
Hey.
Yeah, it's
yo,
funny.
What's
what's
up?
going
We
on?
wanted
What's
to
going
do this
on?
for a
We're
while.
live.
Yeah,
We
yeah. It's
wanted to
good
do
to
this
see
for
you
a
guys.
while to have all five of us
Awesome.
here.
Let's start little by little. Because although I mean we got five. Excuse me, five people here. Let's start with you, William. You went to the OCB game. I would love to hear your opinion on it. Your first OCB game. How was it?
I enjoy it very much. I think it's really good. It's really close to where I live. You know, closer than the Orlando City Stadium. And
Mm-hmm.
now talking about the game, I thought it was really fun. All the people, like, I don't know if that's the usual crowd. I don't know if you guys go often. I don't know. That's
No,
I
this
go
was
a
the
few.
first.
I go maybe once or twice.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the usual crowd, then it's very interesting to see how everybody's cheering, all the kids. That's what really caught my attention. That all the kids, and those are kids that in my community, let's say, you know, that are interested in soccer, and I think that's really cool. That's right in front of the high school that I went to, and well, no, going back to the game again. um, we have really good quality. I don't know how we watched the game. Um, I gotta say the best player we had was Wilfredo Rivera,
Mm-hmm.
hands down. I never see him play. I mean, I saw the guy. He signed my poster when he was in Publix last time. I don't know if you remember
Yeah,
for
same here.
holiday. Yeah, but I never got to see him play. I think he went to Orlando City game, the MLS game, like for a couple minutes. I didn't see much
He
of him,
has
right?
he has not played for the first team. He
No.
well, let me take that back. He did play in the friendly against Fumilinense this past off season.
Yeah.
And he has played for Puerto Rico as a Puerto Rican. Obviously, I have watched the games. I have always been preaching that the guy has the quality to go to MLS, and he also was sent on loan to Indy 11 2 seasons ago, where he did fairly well. So I'm glad. Like I said, that I just a lot of people from Puerto Rico that follow the national team ask me why is it that he's not getting minutes with the MLS team, and quite honestly, I don't have an answer for that. So I don't know what's going on. But let me jump from you, William, and go to Vixen. Vixen, good to see you again, my friend. Obviously, you were not at OCB, but your impression about the game Saturday on Toronto, and then after that, I'm gonna go back to you, Will.
Oh my goodness, I can't like it doesn't like I knew when Toronto scored their first goal, I knew that we weren't gonna win that game. I knew it was gonna have to be a tie or a loss. I just knew that we're not gonna win that game. We got to hang on to the lead. I hope Brecalo is okay. You know we, I hope that he comes back soon and healthier and stronger. Um, I don't know. I agree with John on this one. When he said that, like, we got Loedo right in the bench and Muriel right in the bench. And I told you guys when Loedo got signed, I was not. Everybody was hyping him up like crazy, right, John? And I was just like, dude, this guy has never played in Europe, unlike Pereira, and he's older than Mauricio Pereira. Like, I just don't see I don't see him like progressing as what everybody else was expecting. So I'm with John on that one. Like, and you gotta. I mean, you gotta like do something as somebody that has that name and stature, like and we just gotta go on to May 4th and get a win, at home.
Absolutely, William. I'm gonna ask you these two questions, my friend, because you guys,
All right.
you and Vixen right now are the representatives of the fan base. We have to be in a playoff position by June 1st. Otherwise, we're not making. Otherwise, I'm not gonna say we're not. It's just gonna be such a tight way of finding our way into a wild card game, finishing eighth or ninth, right, to get that playing game. Um, do you see us winning this? Do you see us getting a point this Saturday? Number one, and number two, um, was extending Oscar contract of 2 years worth its value?
Who's first? Me?
Yeah,
William,
you can.
please.
Okay. For the first, I think that that ship has sailed for me. I don't see us. I mean, if you look at the games that are coming, the matches, they're tough
Ah,
ones. I mean, we went through the easy ones and we barely made it. So I mean, I can see like maybe a win somewhere, like maybe Philadelphia or maybe Cincinnati next week. But after that, even for the Miami game, I I don't see it. I don't see the
mhm.
light at the end of the tunnel. And as for the other question, I don't think it was. Well, it was not. What did you ask about? I'm sorry.
Do you think it was smart to extend Oscar rather than find a new manager?
It was worth for the front office because that gave a sense of security. For the
Hmm.
fan base, most of us didn't think it was a good idea. We always strive to go for the best, and front office just kind of chose to stay in the same path. And
Yeah.
um, as a fan, I don't think it was worth it. But at least we could have shot for something um,
Up there.
average, let's say average, like not in the position we're at right now.
Fair enough, my friend. Vixen, same questions. Do you think that renewing Oscar was the smartest thing to do? And the second one, do you see us in playoff contention come June 1st?
I do not see it as I don't see it worth it to re-sign Pareja earlier. I was not very happy that we re-signed him. But like William said, I agree with him that it was worth it for the front office. But like as a fan, like as a team, I just thought that everything that he had to offer, and he just paid all his cards on the table, and like it didn't do uh, it didn't do. I didn't see any upgrades. Like we're still talking about giving up the lead. You know, we still talk about like playing bad in the first half or whatever. Like um, what else? And the other question, do you see us making it
Yeah, but being in
June
the playoff
1st?
being in the playoff contention by June 1st.
30 days. I do not. I really don't. I don't. I do not. The answer is no. I don't see
Okay,
it.
that's it. Well, guys, thank you again for joining us.
Wait,
This is
wait.
your house. Yeah, go
I,
ahead,
I
brother.
wanted to show you something because I don't know if my input is being seen or if it's looked by
Bro, it's
someone.
your show. It's your show. We're stewards.
Okay, so I made a little board thing. That's why I'm holding the marker, and I wanted to show you. This is what Pareja sees like when he sees Orlando City, right? It's a 4-2-3-1 position. What I think of the Toronto game, I promise it won't take long. Okay.
Okay.
What I think of the Toronto game, what he should have done, because I know Maguire when he got subbed out. I don't know if you guys noticed. He kind of looked around like, why? Like he asked himself, well, why am I being taken out? So what I think it could have been improved here in this formation is to switch back from a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-4-4-2, right? And then have Muriel come in, right? Take Ojeda out. You already know what I think about him,
Mhm.
right? So take Ojeda out, bring Muriel in, right? Because if you look at the comments, I think everybody agrees that Muriel he's not fit to be a striker, right? So, but he's
Right.
really
Right.
good with his foot playing, and he knows how to pass the ball around. He knows how to move it forward and stuff. So you could use them as a false nine, and then just have. I will do it, but it will take a little bit of time to move all this. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like actually. Um, so you could use them as a false nine, so that if you notice during last game, everybody, all the defenders were on top of a wire. So if you put Muriel in as a false nine, then all the defenders kind of scatter around because they're looking for the two strikers, and they're dangerous. So to me, that wouldn't be the solution last game, and that didn't happen. And that's the issue I have with Pareja this season, that he doesn't see those things. He doesn't see those opportunities. And
What you just said, William, and I have to say this because evidently somebody in the front office is listening to what we say, and thank you for that. The fact of the matter is, my friends, is William and Vixen are a small representation of our fan base. Our fan base, they're not stupid people. Our fan base knows football for the most part. They have high expectations. I think that the people that don't know the sport, that act with emotions, the happy clappers that we call them, and don't worry, happy clappers. I got some heat for you later on. They are the loudest people, and they get the most attention. But people like William and Vixen that have been faithful to this club, that have sat there and ate all the crap that the front office has dished out over the years. They want to see wins, and hopefully they're gonna get him if we get our act together. Gentlemen,
Real
we're
quick,
running out of time.
I want to answer to William while he's here because I
Go
want to
ahead,
hear
John.
what he says about it.
okay,
So I agree with what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I think Poppy didn't do that because that's not defensive enough for what they were trying to do in the second half. Because if you look, yes, they stuck to that 4-2-3-1, but Ladero was playing more of a box to box eight when the few occasions we did go on attack. He was more of a box to box eight that floated in the midfield than a 10 that floated. Um, Two, on attack, the way Poppy has them, and he's done this every year he's been here. You watch our team when we're in the attack, especially in the transition, just entering the attacking third. We'll have 2 to 4 or 5 guys lined up in a single file row right across the top of the 18. So when they did try the 4-4-2 a couple matches a month ago, that's why we kept getting caught out, is because we had so many players, two players too far forward. Our false nine, which they try to make Muriel the false nine, was too far forward. He was playing more as a true number 9 than a false 9. So it got real congested right at the top of the 18, and there was nobody in that midfield transition area where the attacking third turns into the middle third. So I 100% agree with you that makes sense. If it was a team that likes to play attacking, like I feel like the 5 of us want to see, is an attacking style of soccer, but Poppy didn't want to play that in the second half. I'm actually surprised he didn't switch to. I think if Brekalo didn't get injured, he would have switched to something like a 5-4-1 or something like that. If Brekalo hadn't gotten injured, to try to preserve that 1-0 lead. So I completely agree with you. I actually think that if Muriel was able to be positioned correctly and their attack was a little better organized, that would be the setup for us, because I feel like Arujo and Cartagena can play that box to box eight with each switching on the runs depending on what happens. But for whatever reason they're, in my opinion, taught improperly about how to attack, and there's no levels to the attack. Usually you have a couple players closest to the goal and a couple players back for support. For instance, the goal that Toronto scored, the second one, if they didn't have the levels to their attack, that second ball that popped out there wouldn't have been anybody there. And how many times has that happened with the senior team, where a ball pops out 15 to 20 yards out from goal, and there's just defensive players there, and there's nobody from Orlando City's attack there.
Ball watching. Absolutely. All right, my friends. William and Vixen, once again, thank you very much, my friends.
I gotta say one last thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Go ahead, brother.
Last thing. I'm sorry, John. I can't really continue on. I wish I could.
No,
Maybe
you're
next
fine.
week. I'll pick up on what you left off. But just the last thing. Once again, if someone's listening, please do not switch Rafael Santos with Smith. That's all I gotta say.
There you
Maybe
go. There
maybe
you go.
Torvalson, or just move on to the other side and then switch out whoever's on the right side.
Yeah, because
Uh,
Santos can play right back too. Like he. But well, David, one last thing I wanted to say was
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
I had a Thomas Williams story that I wanted to say in the podcast that I
Please
wrote
share.
down in the comments. So William knows the story. So we
oh,
were it was after the US Open Cup final after we had won the trophy. Thomas Williams' brother was on the pitch, and I knew it was his brother because he hanged out a lot with Thomas Williams, and he was on the field and saying hello to the fans. And I told Thomas Williams' brother, like, hey, come here, because Facundo Torres was the only one that didn't come to our side, and I told his little brother to, like, hey, yo, bring your brother's teammate over here so he could take pictures or say hello to us as the fans. And he was like, okay, I got you. And then like 30 seconds later, you could see him be like, go ahead. So oh, we need you to go over there. Like a little like secret agent. Like, hey, bro,
Oh my goodness.
I need
oh,
you to
yeah.
go over there right now. They're asking for you.
No, that speaks quality of that family, brother.
And
All of them, they're incredible people.
next thing you know, Facundo looks up at us, and then he did that like, hey, 1 minute, and then he came right over with Thomas Williams' brother, right, Willie? Right,
Yep.
William?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Schlegel joined, and
Gustavo joined, and Tesho, yeah.
Tesho,
Yeah. All right, my
Bravo,
friends. I don't mean to cut you off, but
No,
we're
that's
running
fine.
out of time, so I gotta do it. But
All
you
right,
guys
next
know
week.
every Monday this is your house. So
We'll
thank you
be
very
here
much for
earlier
joining
next
us.
week.
Thank
Awesome,
you.
my brother. Awesome. Thank you guys. All
Thank
right.
you.
guys.
If Ahmed, if you could go over the comments, they have piled up a little bit, and then we're gonna go into FCT next Saturday.
Yep,
If you don't mind.
absolutely. Jason, JJ said Orlando Vikings. That was what we were talking about earlier with the Wilfs. He said, "Didn't I predict a loss on the show?" Yes, you did. I think we both said that. um, Reach John. I think that was about John's monologue. Magic City says Kara 2.0. I wonder
Okay.
who they're referring to.
Yeah.
um, and then Thomas Dupree says McGuire has 4 goals this season, and everyone else who has scored has 1 each. Muriel and Ojeda have 0.
Painful.
Torres's
Painful.
goal was a pen. And then Jacqueline has shown more finishing this year than Muriel, Ojeda, and Torres. Honestly, I wouldn't mind him getting a start soon. And to your point, David, that's kind of what we were talking about at the OCB game. Giving more of
Mhm.
those players more playing time, man.
Yeah, for sure. Um, all right, let's now go to our next game, which is going to be this Saturday, 7:30 at 655 for Church Street. All roads lead to Interco Stadium. Let's go support the Lions. Our foe right now. Let's if we can go over the positioning in the East. Um, it pains me to read this, but right now they're second in the league with 18 points, one a game in hand over Miami, which is first with 21 points. These guys are close. Are these guys have 9 points more than we do, and have only played one more game than we have. We are at 9 games with 9 points. These guys are 18. These guys are in double digits. In fact, my friends, the only teams in single digits are 13th, 14th, and 15th. Orlando, Nashville, and New England. Two teams that last year were at the top of the table. This year, somebody poisoned the well. I don't know what's going on. Um, the game against FCC is interesting because, according to this, and I don't think this is accurate because I find some inconsistencies here. It says that the last 3 matchups, this is from the MLS website, all nil results last 3 games. I don't think so. If I remember we lost, according to this, the all-time series is 4 games to Orlando, 3 draws, and two to Cincinnati. Cincinnati were the joke of the town. They weathered the storm for a few years. They were the Supporter Shield winners last year, and um, they're making a comeback, and they're gonna be dangerous. I think they can score goals. Obviously, they lost Vasquez, who's now with Monterrey Rayados. But the fact of the matter is they're gonna give us a headache, and they're coming to win. Let me say that again. They're coming to win this coming up Saturday. So, with that said, guys, expectations. We'll start with you, Ahmed, and then John.
Expectations. um, listen, I said 2 games, 3 games. We have 3 games more that need to be wins for me to change my mindset about where we're headed as a team. The problem is it's an uphill battle. Every game that we're playing, including the last ones, is an uphill battle. We have Cincinnati, then we have Philadelphia, then we have Miami. I mean, it's like walking uphill carrying a boulder.
Mhm.
I don't even know what to say, man. Do I think we're gonna win? No, I don't. Could we do it? Could we pull it out? We have pulled out crazier feats, but not this team has not pulled out crazier feats. The team from last season that came back and won from being 2-0 down to beat Columbus to 4-2, that team could do this. The way we're playing now, no way. I mean, if you believe that, I got a bridge I could like to sell you in the Everglades.
There you go, my
I
friend.
mean,
There you
come on, let's be real. I want us to, and I think if we did, maybe that's the fire that the guys need, but not the way that we're playing. The way that we're playing, I can't see it. I can't see. It's like doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. That's what I'm watching. And if I were to say we're gonna win, that's basically what I'm. I mean, come on. Prove me
Mhm.
wrong. Prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. And I will come back here on next Monday and I'll be like, I was wrong. I was wrong. Here's the win. I want to be wrong. John?
Well, John.
Yeah. So I did look some things up, and a year ago to the day, we had played our 9th match for the MLS season. We had 14 points, so we had 5 more points than we have now, which you can say comparatively is the same is almost the same start. But you look at how we were losing or drawing, the difference between this year and last year. Last year we were drawing the games that we're losing this year, if that makes sense. So
Mhm.
we'd go up by a goal, they'd come back, we'd score a goal, they'd score another goal. That was us giving up a lead, not we go up a goal, then they score 2, or they go up 2 goals and then we score 1. And we didn't have, until July, we didn't have a single defeat of more than 3 goals, I believe. So, what Ahmed was saying, these guys have shown us no reason to believe that they're going to show up, maybe just physically, not mentally, to the stadium on Saturday and bring out the 3 points. They've done it once at home this year? Have we done it once at home this year?
I think so.
So, and we always preach on the show. I've said it a couple times already. You have to win the home matches. We preached it last year. You have to win the home matches. If you win your home matches, draw half the games away, you're going to be one of the top teams in the league come the end of the season. Cincinnati did it last year. So Saturday, I'm praying for a draw. I'm praying a couple goals are scored, and I'm praying for a draw. Because we've got, 3 of the top 5 teams, I think,
Yeah.
coming up our
Yeah.
next 3 matches. And if we can get 4 points out of those 9, I'd be over the moon at this point. Do I think we'll get 4 points? No, I think we'll get 2 if we're lucky. Because this team, I am so over the way this team has looked this year that it's almost hard to put in the words. So yeah, I'm just hoping we don't lose on Saturday.
No, there's 15 games this month, 15 points I should say. The up for grabs. This is what our May looks like. We are going to be playing at home against FCC this Saturday. Then the following Saturday, we're going to go away to Philadelphia. Tough match right there, tough places to play. Then we're going to come back on Wednesday to play Inter Miami, another tough environment. And the league obviously keeps putting Miami in Orlando on days that they know that the fan base is not going to be there for that. So, because it's at the middle of the week, I don't know. To me, you put us with them prime time on a Saturday afternoon, and then this game you do this. We know your game, Don Garber. We can see through you. And then after that, we are going to be away at San Jose. So we're gonna go cross country for this one. It's gonna be San Jose is having problems, but it's the travel that does it for me. And then we're gonna be returning on Saturday to play the reigning champions, and most likely at that point, the finalist in CONCACAF, Columbus Crew. It's gonna be a tough matchup again, and then we close the month visiting Chicago Fire at Chicago. So, my friends, we have to once again we have to get something going. We have 1, 2, 3 home games: Columbus, Miami, FCC. That's really tough. If we by June 1st comes around, which is gonna be catching us playing away at Red Bulls, and we're not in a playoff position. At that point, we're playing for a wild card game, meaning if we finish eighth or ninth, we can play an extra game to get into the playoffs. And the way it looks at the table, that means that we're gonna be the eighth team to get into the playoffs, and we're gonna play directly with Miami. And Miami would love to send us away. Love it. I'm not mad at that because after years of them catching strays from us at every time, we humiliated them in MLS is back. We humiliated them in Open Cup. They have never won a game in Orlando. So it's gonna be an interesting matchup. And since this year we have the 2 leg, it's gonna be fun to see us go down there and come back. But I gotta be honest with you. Anything can happen. So again, by June 1st, if we're not in playoff position, it's gonna be tough. The best we're gonna be able to hope to make is eighth or ninth to get into that playing. And in June, June is not as good as May because you got Red Bulls away, you got LAFC at home, then you got Charlotte away, then you got Chicago at home, and then you got New York City away. In New York City, the playing in and we have never had very good success playing in that mini pitch to begin with. So it's gonna be super interesting to see what happens. Guys, I don't know if you heard. By the way, I believe we have some comments. If you correct me if I'm wrong, if we have read them all or we're missing any.
Yeah, I
one
think we
from-
read them all.
Okay.
That's
William
the
was
one from
asking
William,
about.
which yeah, we covered that. He's asking about the Mason
Yeah,
Stajahari
well,
situation.
just watch the beginning of the show. We don't wanna harp on that. So, um, the the there's a situation with Indianapolis where the mayor of Indianapolis has decided to go for an expansion in MLS. That will mean that Indy 11 club that was incredible rival of my Puerto Rico FC in NASL will go away. It's that simple. They had an agreement, a verbal agreement that the city was going to be building them a stadium, and now the city's like, you know what, USL is not big enough for us. We want to go and get a MLS team. So either Indy 11 jumps on board to move forward to try to woo MLS, or they disappear altogether with the advent of a MLS team. It's in the early stages. This is just a wish list that the mayor has. In the event that Indianapolis was granted a team, once again, our league will be disbalanced. So that means a team in the West Coast will have to come in. So it's difficult to go and tell city, hey, give us $500 million to join the league because we need a team. Now we're desperate to have a team come into the league because these guys want to come in. So I don't know what's going to happen. Don Garber, it's a cancer in our football. We have said it many times. We're going to waste time harping on this, but I think it's a uphill battle and one that it's disgusting. In the fact that this is how it has to be. You have to go and woo people with money in order to get into the top flight league. We should be like the rest of the world and have promotion relegation. And I have said this before. I'll do it even if it means that my team is going to be the first one relegated. So just wanted to bring that up. Guys, Amit, I sent you a video of two of our videos from TikTok that I think are relevant. If you can play them. I don't know which one you're going to play first.
Yes, hold on 1 second. Wait, I
This
only have
is,
one.
okay, you only have one. Which one you got?
That one. Do you see it?
Do you really want to hurt me?
For the benefit of if everybody that is on audio, is a picture that a fan shared online of a guy that party way too hard, and he looks sad, and he says, and then the caption says, "Orlando City fans be like," and I just grabbed that picture and just add that Culture Club Classic. And I guarantee you that's how we felt on our way home Sunday afternoon after getting our teeth kicked in by Toronto twice. No, I have sent you another video, brother. And this is gonna be our flagship comment as we move through the good to see you, Johnny Rock is there. It was great talking to you this past Saturday, my friend. Always great seeing you. I don't know if you got that. You got the video that I sent you?
What, the car one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the car one. Let's see
Let's
see that one.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Video.
This is gonna be our flagship comment moving forward in May. I'm ready to get hurt again.
Play it one more time, Ahmed. We just got the very end of it.
Yes, I will do that.
I'm ready to get hurt again. There you go. I'm telling you, that's gonna be our flagship comment. I said that on our way to OCB, and it came to fruition. So
God.
there you guys go. Guys, anything to add before we say goodbye for tonight?
If we had 14 points, we'd be sitting in about 5th or 6th position right now.
Yeah, 6th. It was 6th. I was looking at
how we would have won. How we would have won this past Saturday. We would have been in contention. It's sad. It's sad, my friends, but it is.
You know what's sad? What's sad is that we have the ability. It's the same team. Like, what's going on? We're talking like
team.
We're talking like it's a whole new set of players.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, I mean, but that's what is so irritating. I brought it up last week. I think I brought it up about every week this year. That's what was so frustrating about our off season. We lose Pereira, right? Our number 10, who I hated on last year. And we don't have a solid number 10 this year. You know, I ragged on him last year because he didn't score goals. He didn't take shots from outside the box, this, that, or the other. But at least there was somebody there to stabilize the midfield and progress the ball forward.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have anybody willing to do that right now. Unless it's, you know, and this isn't a harp on Janssen, unless it's Janssen trying to hit Duncan on a long ball. You know, our two wingers, half the time they get it, unless they get it on the run in pace, immediate, you know, they get the ball, take a couple dribbles, stop, turn around and kick it backwards. Same with their midfield.
Yep.
You know,
All right, man. Anything else, my friend?
No, man, we've killed it.
No,
I'm
I
done.
hear you. I want to thank everybody that has watched us live. I want to thank everybody that's going to be watching this later, and I want to thank everybody that's going to be listening to this. Also, I would like to share this story. When on the way home, we passed the training ground, and the parking lot was packed with cars, and I was like, I'm glad to see that the boys are putting in the work day after a defeat like that. I don't know. Again, defeats like this galvanize fan bases, but to the team, they either bring the best of them or the worst. You gotta go out there and be hungry. I know a lot of people are angry that the players did not go to the wall to salute and they just jetted into the tunnel. I'm gonna be honest with you. After that performance, I too would have been just out of there. I don't think well, there was nothing to celebrate about. And to the club playing that it's one of them days song, please. Defeats don't need soundtracks. Leave it alone. We are a very mature football fan base, and we know the night sucked. We don't need a soundtrack to remind us of that. Wins deserve the soundtrack. Send us home in a happy mood. If we start treating wins and defeats like they don't matter, we're gonna have the happy clappers. And you know what, happy clappers, you're lucky. I almost forgot about you. The happy clapper is an insult that we utilize in this podcast and by many podcasters. A happy clapper is somebody that doesn't care about the result because they're there to have fun. They're there to have a good time. And I also want to do that, but I also want the club to win. Happy calling yourself a happy clapper shows me that you are either defiant, you're trying to get under my skin. You're never going to, because I make more money than you and have a better life. And when I go walk into the stadium, I have 13, 14, 15 people hugging me. Okay. I went to OCB, the same situation. When you walk in, you don't, nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows who you are because, you know, the fact of the matter is that tweeting stupidity online, it's not going to get you anywhere. You know what's going to get you? What's going to get you in the good graces of other fans? Supporting the club like God intended. Get mad when things are going the wrong way. Support the club, okay? And again, criticizing the players, criticizing the manager, none of that creates an environment in which we are disrespecting people or we are going against the club. In the past, I have to give it to you. You did a good job at destroying my persona, destroying my reputation, destroying what we have built in that podcast. You did a great job. I'm not going to give you that power anymore. I'm not going to do that because at the end of the day, when the chips are down, you are going to be missing from those stands. It's the fans, the real ones, the ones from day one, the ones in the good and the bad that are going to be filling those seats, and they're going to be cheering them on. My roommate left angry. And you know why he left angry? Because he cares about this club. Because he loves about this club. The man works like an animal to pay for that ticket, and he was not rewarded. The fact of the matter is, the fans can see. The fans can see what the club needs. People that work for the club, fans had texted me of their their distaste and their frustration over what's happening right now. Many choose not to say it publicly because you guys, the cornhole champions, tailgate cornhole champions, love to trash people, right? Love to trash people, and that's not the way to go. Remember, my friends, and with this I finish because people got to work tomorrow. With this I finish. We lose and we win and we tie as one. You're never gonna be alone in those stands. Never gonna be alone in those stands. We're one fan base, one people. The fence builders, you can go somewhere else. Our pod is about supporting the club, and when we have to give the tough love, we're gonna give the tough love, but we're gonna give love. Toughness without love is useless. So, with that said, keep talking about me. That doesn't make you a critic. That makes you a fan. If you're worrying about what I'm doing, and especially if you're doing it in an application that you ran me over, you ran me away from. The fact is, I left for because you kept reporting my tweets. That's what you kept doing. So now you have your echo chamber. Now you have your echo chamber. But I have a platform that people that dislike me come to me and say, "Hey, David, I have this information. David, I have this situation. David, can you talk about this?" That's character because you can dislike the person, David Valentin, but you cannot find a flaw or a crack on the persona that I am supporting this club. With that said, guys, anything else to add before we say goodbye?
I think
No,
we said about all that needs to be said.
that's
Yep.
it, my friends. Well, thank you guys. Thank you again for holding the fort with our friend JJ last weekend, or last week, I should say. I'm sorry. We'll see you guys on Monday. Hopefully, talking about 3 points. Monitoring the situation this week as far as the news that unfortunate news that we are aware of. We'll see what happens, and we'll say goodbye. Reminding everybody that football is played on grass, not on paper. That football is cruel and unpredictable. That football is a pound of talent and an ounce of luck. And if you have never cried for joy or anger over football, have you real football? For myself, Ahmed, John, and all our guests tonight, may God bless you. And as always, vamos, Orlando!